Well, good morning, friends. This is Dave from Dave's Raised Bed Garden. It is absolutely a beautiful day. It's about 10 o'clock this morning. I didn't come out here this early this morning. We had quite a bit of wind and some rain last night, and it got really stormy and everything. And I was trying to put a video together based on my corn and what I do. So I'm going to actually turn the camera around here a little bit to show you. And then to tell you what I'm going to be doing, I'll actually show you what I'll be doing with my other corn. Because what I was afraid was going to happen, and based on my knee and everything, not being able to get out what I would normally do from last year and everything, what I wasn't able to do. I was able to get some help from my family and actually to keep the wind from blowing the corn all the way down, and basically we did the best thing that we could to try to tie it up. But I'm going to show you what I did with my other corn that came through. You know, I told you I used that 7 Dust Granulus. I actually put that down yesterday, and you can kind of see what it looks like around it. This is about the height that I like to do my corn and the other vegetables that I do. I let them establish themselves, and then I'll let them grow and everything. So I'm going to show you the bed that I put the granulus down. The corn's looking really good, but then I'll show you the other part, that what I'm doing with the other corn and I'm going to have to do, and to explain that too. So here's the little corn. This is a late stage. If you remember, this is the bed that I had the collard greens and the spinach in. This corn is about, well, I would say about 5, almost 6 inches tall now. It was a little bit shorter actually yesterday, but the rain and everything, and I'm trying to do a watering system too. But you can see that I put those granulus. That's the 7 Dust Granulus. Basically what I did was that I came through, I went down each row, and then I sprinkled around it. And then what I would do is, and I'll just show you, the winds actually helped me out a little bit too. But what I would do is just fan it off of the leaves and everything, and then try. I think this one has a little bit in it. And so see, I just clear it out, get it out, just a little bit of water in there. And it's not gonna hurt it or anything. And as the wind establishes, it'll blow any of it off of it. But the second thing that I wanna show you is what my bed looks like as far as my big corn. The winds that we had yesterday afternoon with the storms, we didn't really get hit the storms like they did in Winston and everything, and they got some hail and everything, but the winds really got bad here. I'm going to show you my other corn too. So as you can tell, you see how the corn is all leaning over. It was a lot worse yesterday evening. What we did is that one stake that's in the end, that's all I had at the time, and then I used these stakes here that I have around the fence, around the garden and everything. So what I did is I took some nylon twine, we actually tied it to that stake, and we went to the interior and then come around, and then we used the posts that I have going around the garden to help reinforce it. The winds was so bad that it was leaning over. It was a lot lower, and actually I could look over the top of the corn very easy. So through the night and everything, it's actually established itself, and it's come up a little bit better. What I'll be doing is I will be actually putting 4 stakes, and I'll put them around each corner inside the bed. And then what I will do is that I'll do 2 things. Number one is I will run a twine or a heavy cord down the middle of it, and then I will run it around the perimeter. I may do 2 or 3, basically midway and then sort of at the top, because what I want to do, if the winds come, it's going to want to lean. And that's naturally, if you have corn in the field and everything, the corn will lean on each other and everything, and hopefully what they'll do is they won't break, because if they break, of course, you've lost your corn. But a lot of times with the corn, if it doesn't get knocked all the way down and it doesn't break, a lot of times it'll stand up. Now, I have been told too that the corn that's in the field, that when it gets knocked down, if it hasn't broken, it'll still grow. And actually that's what the corn will do. And a lot of times, if you give it a few days, it'll actually bring itself back up and everything because of the root base. So that's what I wanted to show you. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'll actually show you when I get done what I'm doing to try to reinforce this. I usually have it up a little earlier. And of course, we didn't expect the wind to blow as it did and everything yesterday. It really blew. My green beans got all blew over and everything. And so I'm having to work with those a little bit and try to make that. But thankfully, that was lower to the ground. But that's what I'm having to deal with the corn. So at the same time, it's part of the gardening system, part of what I'm doing. And sometimes you just have these little roadblocks and you got to just make the best that what you can do. So that's actually what I'll be doing here with the corn here in just a little bit. Look at the corn, how it is. The picture that I'll show you again as part of the video is actually from yesterday. So it's actually really taken hold and everything. But what you can tell, what I've done is I've put these stakes that around it. They're on all four corners. And what I've done is I put twine down here in the middle, in the bottom, the middle, and then the top. And what I'm doing is just try to keep that. And I can come back. Now what I did is some people will just wrap it completely around. I actually tied it per string to per stake. That way, if I need to tighten it up, I can come in and just actually loosen it up and everything. And then, so that's what the corn will do. But this is from the wind the other night. And when it was buried over, if you can kind of get an eye view, is that where I'm standing in front of the bed, where my shadow, right where my hand is, this is how far over it was. You couldn't even walk through the row. That's how bad it was on Friday evening and everything. And we just had to come out here and kind of work with it and everything. So that's what I've done. So I hope this will show you a little bit about the garden and let you know where I'm at and everything. I wanted to show you the corn especially, show you some of the things that you deal with when you're dealing with your garden and everything. And it's just that it's a learning process, it's a thing that you've got to be able to go out and do and to be able to research and everything. That's why I encourage you every time to look at videos. Find a good garden channel that you can look at, and then just to get the ideas, because I promise you here on my channel that I'm going to give you everything that I've tried to learn and things that I do. That's something new that comes out, just like with my green beans on one bed, that I've never had them be sporadic like that. So I've got to check it out, see what's going on. But I'm being proactive by planting other beans. The neat thing about green beans and summer plants or warm weather plants is you can plant them all summer long. And so I can continue adding to it. And that's kind of good, because then when you space it out that way, that means I continue having a harvest. So I just hope everybody has a wonderful day. And I just want to say happy Father's Day to all the fathers today. I know my family, some of them were able to come over, and they just had a real nice dinner for me last night and everything. And just take this and celebrate Father's Day with your dads. And even if you don't, I'm thankful for the father that I had. And I often think about him every day, and sometimes I may forget about him and stuff, but he's always on my mind, he's in my heart, that he's taught me a lot. He's made me the man that I am. He's helped me to provide for me that when I was younger, and then what he did is that he actually put me in the place to where I've learned in the gardening that I do is actually a lot of things that I owe it to him, that what he taught me. As a young man, I didn't want to be out there in the garden, but as an older man, I'm so thankful that I did take the heart and the training that he gave me and the teaching that he gave me. It just meant a lot, and I just thank him for that. So happy Father's Day, and from Dave at Dave's Raised Bed Garden, have a great day and take care.